Hi, my name is Becky and I create videos about running, well, trying to run in my case, as slow as fuff runner, and makeup videos. So I want to talk to you just while I'm doing my hair this morning. So I wanted to just talk to you about some of the struggles that I've been going through recently as a woman who is 45 actually on Saturday. And I wanted to kind of explain and maybe help other women that may be going through the same thing. So I would say for the last 6 to 8 months I have been very, very down in the dumps, in a very dark place. I kind of describe it as feeling dead inside and finding it really difficult to function and be, kind of have that momentum to do everything in the house, just the momentum to even work. Don't have the get up and go about me, but just to go backwards on it, I have never felt okay as a woman. I started my menstrual cycle, my period, when I was 15, which is quite late, but I also had a boyfriend around that time, so my mum actually put me on the contraceptive pill, and I think from that point on, going on the contraceptive pill, I became someone I didn't know, but because it was from such a young age and starting my period, no one really noticed. So I think I just became a psycho of some sort. I wouldn't say psycho, but not a psycho all the time, but very much someone who had very bad rage, very bad violent tendencies, very bad depressive states, very bad irritability, and feeling of hopelessness, feeling of nothing, basically. Just even after I'd had my psychotic episode, which I did monthly obviously, which included violence, included rage, etc., I literally would just not feel anything. So I wouldn't even feel remorse. So that's not good. That's just not good. So I went to the doctor, and they better start doing this because I could be late for work. I went to the doctor, and the doctor put me onto a high dose vitamin, which was like a B complex. It was either B complex or it was like B6 or it was B12, something along those lines. And I don't think it did anything for me. And they also then started me on antidepressants. This was when I was about 18. This became apparent. I'd missed that part out, sorry. I know what I'm going to do here. I'm going to keep on telling you the wrong thing and then flapping backwards slightly. So obviously, this got worse up to when I started to become 17, 18, and I got into a different relationship when I was 15. It's not really anything, is it? But when I was like 17, 18, I got into a serious relationship with a boy, and this boy, bless him, although when I think about it now, some of the things he did was questionable and I blamed myself for it, but he did take a massive brunt of my horribleness from when I was younger, and I'm really sorry about that. But I don't actually feel like there was anything that I could have done, because the doctors just didn't really seem like they would look into anything for me. It was just, oh yeah, you've got PMDD, that's about it. So, you're gonna have to learn to chill the fuck out, basically. So I was put onto antidepressants, like I said, from the age of 18. And I have been on antidepressants, and I'm still on antidepressants now at the age of 45. I'm going to say 45 because I'm 45 on Saturday, so I may as well just say 45. which is a long old time, so I actually don't know really who I am without antidepressants, which is actually quite sad. I've had this life where I actually don't know who I am as a person, but no, I don't know who I would be as a person. I know who I am as a person while I'm on them, but I wonder who I am when I'm not on them. Basically, the only time I have ever felt okay is when I was pregnant. So I've had 3 children. The ages at the moment are 20, nearly 18 and 12. And that is the only time that I've ever felt okay. And I remember actually saying to a doctor, what is it that you have that is the difference when you're pregnant? Like, what do you have? Can I have a tablet of that? And she said, I think I need to put you through for some hormone tests. Anyway, the hormonal test got turned down by the scientist, one of the main scientists in the blood centre, or whatever you want to call it, in pathology. She wouldn't do them because of my age, because I think that must have been after my second child or my first child, so I was in my 20s. They turned it down, so she wouldn't do it. Anyway, they just literally shoved me on my merry way with different antidepressants, and that was about it. So I just feel like I've just been pushed with antidepressants this whole time. But if they went back through my notes, they can see how many times I've been in and saying, I do not feel okay. I do not feel okay. I do remember at one point I had a breakdown. Sorry, bear with me. This is my Grizzly True Crime Cup. If you know, you know. I've got a dry mouth from talking so much. So, I'm sorry I keep saying as well, but that's just me. So, where did I get to? So yes, I had a breakdown. So this was a breakdown in my late 20s. I had a kind of, I would say, nervous breakdown after I had some, I had 2 missed miscarriages. I don't know if you know what missed miscarriages are. This is when you're pregnant and your baby actually dies inside you. You don't know until you basically go for a scan and say, then they notice there's no heartbeat. So I went and I had 2 missed miscarriages that I found out when I went to my 12-week scan. So the first time was absolutely heartbreaking, and I went into a deep, dark place. And the second time, I kind of already knew it happened before I went for the scan. So I was a bit like, look, to the lady, but I already know I've lost this baby. Can you just hurry up and do the scan? Just tell me that I'm right. And I was right. It's funny how you know. I just knew. And yeah, I kind of really spiraled into a bad place, and I actually went to see the psychiatry unit, NHS psychiatry unit. I got referred to there, and he was not very helpful at all. He was really like, I don't know what you're doing here. What are you trying to gain from this? And I was like, well, a diagnosis would be helpful, maybe to help me. You know, I have had these problems all this time. Is there a possibility that we can work together for a diagnosis? He said, oh, if you want a diagnosis, I'll just give you one now. You've got like a daily form of bipolar, which I can't remember what it's called now. Oh gosh. Maybe I can edit that in. Or I can do that type-in thing that comes up on the screen and says what it is. I will look at that because I can't actually remember what it is. But basically, it's when you have daily to weekly bipolar episodes. I don't know if this is going to go off. Yeah, daily to weekly bipolar episodes. So your mood just changes sporadically. So you have you're depressed one day, the next day you wake up and you're fine, you're completely fine. You can actually be hyperactive. The next day you wake up, maybe, or for a week you might be down again, blah blah blah. So I was like, okay, so that's easy to get a diagnosis. I think he's just trying to fob me off. So anyway, I did look into that condition, that diagnosis, and it did seem quite relevant. to me and what I'm like. However, I do feel it was more based around my periods and my cycle. And then when you think about the fact that I was okay whilst I was pregnant, think about that. So I was okay when I wasn't having my cycle. So yes, it's taken me to have another sort of 6 to 8 month spiral breakdown for them to take me more along the more serious side. Or in that time as well, I also had a smear test which showed that I had a cyst on my cervix. So they wanted me to just have a scan at the with the gynae, because I also have quite painful sex, painful periods, painful before my period is due. The pelvic pain that I get is something that's quite unreal, and I don't know if you've watched any of my previous videos, but I do get a different sort of pelvic pain. So my pelvis is basically fucked in 2 ways. So I still have episodes of SPD, which is actually brought on by running, and that is where your pelvis falls apart or becomes unaligned, and that's from having children. So yeah, my children's got me right up there, exacerbated by running, because it's the instability of running on each leg. The doctor said to me, can't do anything, take up swimming. Thanks for that, love. And then I have this other pain, which is a deep throb pain in my pelvis, and it is horrendous. Anyway, I didn't realise that they were 2 different things until I had a scan. I had an internal one. I can't remember what it's called. I had an internal one, and I had the one on outside on my stomach. So this has showed that I've highly likely got, which they still can't give me a diagnosis for. This is 2 doctors telling me this now as well. I've got to go back in 3 months' time, but it's highly likely that I've got endometriosis and adenomyosis. I have a large amount of swelling on my uterine wall, which goes like this, the uterine wall, which could be the adenomyosis. But I've also got something on my left ovary, which they think is either endometriosis, it's a bit of a deformed shape, or it could be cancer cells. So I now have to go for I need a drink again. I'm so sorry. Now I need to go for a blood test next week to have my tumour markers done. I'm not too bothered about that, to be quite honest. There is a possibility that I've got a thyroid tumour anyway, which I'm having another, they found a lump there. It was an inconclusive biopsy because it was a little bit too small for them to take any fluid from it or any cells from it. So I'm due to go back for that in October. Anyway, and they couldn't say to me, because they couldn't do the biopsy, they're like, you could have thyroid, you could have a thyroid tumour, however, you're not going to die. Most people have thyroid tumours and never know and die of something else. So I was like, oh, thanks for that. That's so funny. So I could end up with high tumour markers anyway, because I could have a tumour somewhere else, but we'll see anyway. But why are they not putting me through for a laparoscopy? Oh god, this thing thinks that I'm not videoing, so it keeps on going on standby. Yeah, why are they not putting me through for a laparoscopy is beyond me. So anyway, let me get back to all of that's going on, and I am severely starting to go downhill with my mental health. Now, the problem I've had as well is my rage. My rage in work has been unbearable. So the agitated altered state of me daily is something that's quite unreal, to be honest. I have been kicking off in work. I don't know how I haven't been sacked. I talk like absolute shit to my manager, even to my big manager. But then I do apologise and say I'm really sorry, I'm going through it. And they're all women, they totally understand. They've been actually really lovely to me. But some days I'm just thinking, oh my God, why haven't I been sacked today? Because that was fucking terrible. What am I doing? And then I left work one day because I was just in such a depressed, low state, and they asked me to do something I didn't want to do, and I was just like, fuck this, I'm gone. And I just walked off. And that is not like me. I worked through COVID, everything. I've had COVID twice in work, and I just worked through it. So it's really not like me, and they know it's not, and that's why they've been really, really good to me, to be honest. They have been fantastic. I've got to hand it to them, they've been really good. So obviously I went back to the doctors, and basically after I spoke to this one doctor who has been through the whole of my notes, been back to everything. Plus I told him when we were on the phone talking, because he really listened to me because I was so upset, I was crying my eyes out, and he really listened to me, and he said to me, I really, really think that you've had severe PMS, like PMDD, since you were in your teens, like started your periods when you got to like 17, 18. I think you've had severe PMS, which is PMDD, and no one's really thought of that for you. And yeah, it's really, really bad. And he was just like, look, we will sort this out. So I'm on HRT now, so I've got a HRT patch. Yeah, I'm on the Everall Conti patch, which I put on every twice a week. And basically I have to have another antidepressant 2 weeks before my period is due. I take it for 14 days and then stop it on the 14th day. So what he's trying to do there, with the Everall patch as well, which is the Conti patch, I have to take that for 3 weeks, have the patch on for 3 weeks and then stop it, and then that should bring on my period. So what that's going to do is, he said, is regulate my period, because my periods are all slightly all over the place. They're mostly 21 days, but they can be 25, they can be 33, they can go 2 months, but mostly they're 21, which means I kind of have a period and then I'm back nearly in that luteal phase where I'm a psycho again. So it's a never-ending cycle of me being crazy, and upset, and being premenstrual, but as a disorder. So he wants to try and regulate when my period's going to be all the time, and then make sure I'm medicated for that phase of that part of my cycle, so I can get on with life, so I'm not going to lose my job, so I don't lose friendships and relationships, because I've made some questionable choices over the years whilst I've been in those states. Like, actually, when I think back about it now, what the fuck? Like, what? I mean, I love the place I'm in right now. My partner is the best partner I've ever had out of all of... I've been married twice, divorced twice. That tells you right there that, that could have been that. I've been divorced and divorced twice. But the partner that I've got now is like the most supportive, loveliest partner, who's gone off and Googled everything, and he's the loveliest man. Oh, it's going again. Yeah, he's the loveliest man in the world, and he has really, really, really supported me through this time, and I'm in a really, really good place. So you get what you deserve, but you're in the place you need to be. Do you know what I mean? Everything happens for a reason, and I think I was meant to go through all that to be with him now, and to have someone who actually understands me as a person and loves me no matter what, which I didn't really feel like I had previously anyway. But yeah, so this is a process now where I'm obviously trying all these meds for the next 3 months. Then I will be having another scan again to hopefully get a laparoscopy for them to actually tell me, is this, or a biopsy, because they're going to have to, if they actually think it is cancerous cells, they need to get me in and do a biopsy. So whilst they're in there, have a look around. Have I got endometriosis? Have I got endometriosis? Like, just have a little scan around, you know? But yeah, going well through the mill, all while trying to be a runner. Like, I'm gonna sneeze. Am I gonna sneeze? Yep. All whilst trying to be a runner with a pelvic problem. So the running though, I know it hurts my pelvis, but I have just found what I think. I've had 2 days of no pain, and I did this thing called the 3-minute miracle, which I found on YouTube, a woman doing this 3-minute miracle pelvic thing, and I've had no pain for 2 days, but I have had a day off work. So sitting in the chair all day for work. Well, I don't sit in it all day anyway. I got a sit-stand desk, and I have to get up every like 30 minutes. Otherwise, I'm in absolute agony. But they've been fab and got me like a really good chair. So I'm just going over my hair. I'm going over my hair. Is it making any difference? So basically, yeah, I just wanted to let you ladies know out there that, like, advocate for yourself. Make sure you don't give up on, well, if you think you know something's wrong, just keep going back. Pester. Because quite frankly, I should have pestered from when I was 18. I should have pestered the shit out of those people and had proper support, but I never did. And that was the 90s. People didn't, I don't know, but did people really even think about PMDD and stuff back then? I don't even know, but I know I'm coming up to being like perimenopausal. Apparently I'm not. I think my bloods come back fine, but you know, it's not just on bloods, is it? They don't just look at your bloods, they look at symptoms as well. So, but they haven't really said that they think it's perimenopause. They think I've got PMDD basically, and endometriosis and adenomyosis and a possible cyst and possible thyroid tumour and a possible other tumour. I don't know. It's very overwhelming. I mean, like, for God's sake, like, all of that. Ugh. And all in places that are all hormonal, because your thyroid is your hormonal part as well. Yeah, like, honestly, I feel like I'm the most hormonal person in the whole world. I just feel so sorry for women. We just have it so rough. We are the strongest beasts in the world, so don't mess with us. I may be in a vulnerable state right now, but I will still kick your ass, without a doubt. So anyway, just be really, like, mindful of your symptoms, write everything down, be kind to yourself, advocate for yourself, and really push what you need to medically, because I'm fucking sick of being fobbed off. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope I've helped in some way with anybody that's going through if anybody wants to message me about any sort of symptoms. I didn't really go into too much detail, but if any of you guys want to message me or anything, please do. I'll try and give you any advice from my point of view, that, you know, I'm not going to give you any medical advice, of course, but if I can give you any information of what's happened to me, and I can help you in any way, then I will. Anyway, I really, really hope this has helped you in some way. Have a good day.